forward. Share my screen. Okay. So for all my friends at home, you're going to need your EL book today, and you're going to need this assignment on your computer so that you can see all of the work today. So we're going to get into our, uh-oh, where'd it go? Uh-oh, back in the bowl. Go back. That's not good. Oh my. Why is it doing that? Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna have to go to your assignment and open up the one from your assignment. Never a dull moment, is it, friends? Never a dull moment. All right, where's Wednesday's assignment? Where's today's assignment? All of a sudden I clicked on something and my lesson disappeared. Yep. There we go. Luckily, their version is my version. I am, unfortunately. Okay, hocus pocus. All right, here we go, friends. All right, overcoming learning challenges near and far. Today we're going to take our work that we've done for the last couple of days. Today's Wednesday, so we worked on this on Monday and we worked on it on Tuesday, and we learned about text and some of the text from this book, A Librarian is a Camel, and we read a whole bunch of information about how some people in Kenya are overcoming their learning challenges about being able to access books. So we are going to do some work with that today. I'm going to go ahead and put away my faces for the moment. You are going to need, so my friends at home, you're going to need to be able to access the Kenya pages, and they're attached to this assignment. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and use my dock camera, but you will need that eventually. So I would like you to think about who were the people that faced the challenge in those Kenya pages? Who are the people who are facing the challenge? Astria.
The students and kids.
The students in Kenya, right? And we had specifically said this in a particular town that is northeast of Nairobi called Bula Iftin. Just realized I didn't have my, let me put on my, this morning it was not plugged in for some weird reason. So there we go, much louder. So in Bula Iftin, the students, what do we know about this village though? Is the village always in the same place? Sunny, is the village always in the same place? Right, so they move a lot. Their whole village moves some. So Astria is correct. We have some students that live in this nomadic village that's moving around, and it's in Kenya. Very nice job. What challenge, what were they facing? What challenge did they face in this section here? We're just reviewing in our heads a little bit about what was that challenge? Oh my goodness, only as Astria, the only one awake today? I mean, great, Miss Astria, go for it.
They don't have books.
They don't have books, very good. Can you tell me, Astria, why they don't have books? Why don't they have bookshelves of tons of books?
Is because if they're moving around a lot, they don't want to have to carry a bunch of books that are heavy.
Exactly. If they have a bunch of books, then they're going to have to carry them with them. And the rest of my friends can't hear you today, and I don't know why. All right, hopefully that'll work. So if you're traveling around, books are heavy. We don't want to carry them around. So we definitely have a problem with accessing books. And how did they overcome this challenge? What was the way they overcame the challenge? My friends at home, besides Astria, even though she's ready to rock again, she's got this. Oh my goodness, I love it, Astria. Anybody else Miss Marin. The librarians used camels to bring the books. And why camels? Why camels? Angelique? Because they need less water, but why is that important? Why do we care that they need less water? Because they live in the desert, and the desert has very little water. So that's one reason they chose the camels. Why else did they choose camels instead of some other animal? Noah? Because cars can't get through, okay. And why camels?
Because they're designed to go through sand.
Ah, there's that word I needed, sand. There's a lot of sand in this particular desert, and the cars can't get through. Perfect. But camels are made for walking in sand. Paxton, what can you add?
They also use camels because they can move a lot of weight.
Very good. The camels can carry a lot of weight. And what do we know about books? They're heavy, right? They're super heavy. So if books are super heavy and we've got these camels, we have to transport them. They chose to use some camels. Very good. Why are libraries important? Our last little question says, why are these libraries especially important? What do you think, Haley?
I think why they're important is because kids are hungry for books and they don't have it.
Very good. So if kids are hungry for books, they want books, right? We like to read. All of us as third graders love books. We love things we can find on Epic that we're interested. We can find some books in the classroom if we're in here. We like to order them from the library so Miss Shannon can get us some different things. How many of you have ordered some books or gone to the library at the high school recently? Okay, my family's big. Oh, yeah, and I know Miss Liz likes her books. So we all like books. And if they're hungry for that information, they're hungry for those books, we need those libraries, especially those who, because they're in a tough situation and moving all the time, that we want to make it easier for them. All right, so all of the things you just told me are in the, I'm gonna get out of this for just a second, are in our note catchers that we have already had. So if you're at home, you're gonna wanna open, and my friends here, can you open your, just for a moment, your workbook? Open to page 37. Why won't it open? There we go. Let's just remind ourselves of how we got here. Because today we are going to do some writing. And I told you yesterday that we were going to use our notes to help us to write a paragraph. So we started with this. Page 37. Everybody on page 37 for me? All my friends at home? I see. Yep. All right. I got lots of nodding going on and thumbs up. Awesome. Thanks, Clara. Thanks, Haley. All right. Jensen, are you on page 37 for me? We're looking. Yep. Perfect. All right. Cole's ready. All right. Thanks, my friends. All right. So if you've got this going here, and we read the text together. Here's a picture of the text for a moment. So all my friends here have a copy, and my friends at home, you have a copy attached to this assignment again. And remember that when you click on it, you can make it big so that you can read it well. So I'm going to ask us before we leave today, we're going to read this one more time all the way through. But we've read it, so we've done some close readings. We've read it through. We've taken some notes. We did a close read on Monday. We took each paragraph and we narrowed it down to what was the gist of the paragraph. What were some words that we weren't sure about? And what did they mean? And we did that for every paragraph. And then we came up with page 38. Here's page 38. Miss Malcolm, sorry. Could you give one, at least one of those to Renee? Because I know she needs one. Is there anybody else who did not finish this page and needs a copy of, because I have Mrs. Malcolm's got a couple extra copies that she's happy to pass out. So they're raise their hands, Mrs. Malcolm, those who need them. Thank you. All right. That's okay. That's, the hands are helpful. So my friends at home, you saw that I posted hopefully the finished product of this and got it finished for me. Got it all done for me. If you haven't, it's posted to yesterday and to today's assignment. So yesterday we did another close read where we took each of those, all those notes that we took from yesterday and the notes that, and reread. Thank you. That's all right, you're good. We go, I'm on, I am on, I am on. All right, so we took some, we broke this up into pieces. We said, what do we know from this text? And we came up with that it's about Kenya and who is having the challenge, the students in that town. Where is this place and why does it matter? Well, does where the text is happening affect the rest of the challenge? Yes, because of the sand, right, in the desert. If they lived somewhere else, they might have a different challenge. In fact, you're going to be learning about different places in the world and the challenge those students have about accessing text. And so it's in East Africa, the desert. So that's some information. Then we went through all of the text and we said, what was the challenge? And we decided it was hard for cars to get through because the sand covers the roads and children don't have access to books because they live in nomadic villages and they're not carrying them around with them. And we decided, okay, well, if that's the problem, how are we going to solve it? We know as good people that if you have a problem, you don't just go, oh, well, no library, no books. You're going to try to solve that problem. Miss Ellie, thank you. How the challenge is overcome. So librarians use camels to carry the books in the tent. Camels can walk in sand and they don't need much water. So we talked about why they picked camels and Angelique hit it right on the head because they don't need much water. And then we talked about that they don't need, that they can walk in the sand very easily. That's their natural habitat. So they're used to that. And camels can carry heavy loads, Paxton said, because the heavy loads books are heavy. And they also are carrying a tent. Why did we decide that it was helpful to have a tent? Why did we decide it's good to have a tent? Anybody at home have an idea why it's good to have a tent? Isabella? I'll beat you to it.
For the library.
But why a tent in the desert? Why would they want Miss Isabella to have a tent? It is for the library.
So they could have shade for the books and for the children to read.
Very good, because it's going to be too hot just to sit in the sun, right? So the tent helps them have a good place to be able to read. Very good. And then is it helpful that they get to keep the books for a while? Yes. So we decided it was important to say that they borrow them for 2 weeks. And if the village moves, they can still get to the library, can still find them, right? Because the library is mobile. It moves around. It moves around so they can come find them. All right. And then we took all of this information, and we made a sentence about why is this important? And we took all of our ideas and we put in Kenya, the children overcome their challenge with the help of a librarian and camels. So this is a very general statement. This is our main idea that we can use to be, and then these are our details. Okay, here's our main idea. Here are our details. All right. So today, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to give you some directions, but today's kind of a day for us to have you work and show us what you can do on your own without a lot of Mrs. Harrison and Mrs. Aubin telling you what to do. What we call it is kind of a pre-assessment. So pre is a prefix, means before. So a pre-assessment means that we want you to do your best job, and then we're going to look at it and see what everybody needs to work on. Okay? Oh boy. Thank you so much for getting that for me. All right. So I'm going to go back real quick here. Out of my... Okay, perfect. So here's our learning target for today. I can write an informational paragraph. We've seen that word informational before, haven't we? What kind of text is this book that we're reading right now? What kind of text is it, Elena? That's the name of it, but what kind of text is it, Ellie? It's writing that gives us facts about a topic. It's informational text. So this is an informational text. You're going to write an informational paragraph. So what are you going to write in the paragraph probably? Ellie? Information. You're going to tell facts in your paragraph. Are you going to tell a story with a character and so forth? No, it's going to be information. So it's going to describe the learning challenges that children in Kenya face and explain how those children overcome them. Does that sound familiar? Yes. Does that sound familiar? Is that exactly what's on our note catcher? Yep. Now, when we're writing a paragraph, are you just going to write everything that's on that? Are you just going to take this note catcher and go, okay, here I go, and just write everything on this piece of paper? No. You're going to turn it into ideas and in your own words and into sentences, right? You're going to use the information from, so everybody take a look here. Here's your note catcher. So we looked at that, and our research question is, what are the challenges people face when learning, and how they overcome, and how do they overcome them? So here is all of our work. What are the challenges people, and so on page, we're actually going to give my friends here a piece of paper. So you're not actually going to do this in your workbook. We're going to have it on a piece of paper so you can hand it to us. My friends at home, however, you can write it on page 41. In the directions of your of the assignment. You're going to go ahead and look at page 41 and write it on page 41, and then you're going to send it to me. You're going to take a picture and upload it so that Mrs. Harrison and Mrs. Aubin can see it and look at it that way. In fact, I will probably print them out so that I can have a copy for later. All right, so this is the purpose of our writing today. You are going to use that information in note catcher to make a paragraph. Let's talk about a paragraph for a minute. What does a paragraph have inside it? What does a paragraph have inside? Cooper? Information, yep. And how is that information? What are the structures? We have words and a paragraph, but how are those words put into a paragraph? Friend? Sentences, very good. Now, Mrs. Aubin and I have really been working on sentences, complete sentences with subjects and predicates. So today you're going to be writing with subjects and predicates in your sentences, okay? And one of the other things that we're going to ask you to look at is this page here. Remember this page here? The last time we wrote, Mrs. Harrison went over this. And so some things that we are going to think about, spelling. So you are able to use your dictionary today in your rooms or at home. You should have your dictionary out. You should use all of your knowledge about words already. If you have a word that has a root word or an affix as prefix or a suffix, you can use those words. You can use a dictionary. You can use your quick word. Hint, hint, hint. Yeah, well, yes, we sent them home with the other things, I think. So anything that you can use, my friends, anything that's a resource for you. Punctuation. Does this sound a lot like cups? There's it's not exactly in the same order, but do you see some of those exact letters that we use for cups? that we use for other assignment. So punctuation, make sure that all of your sentences have periods. If you have a question mark, if you're asking a question, or a comma. If you're not quite sure, you can ask an adult. Capitalization. Capital letters at the beginning of the sentence. Mrs. Avin and I really want to see capitals. This is a pre-assessment, but we know that as third graders, you should be doing those capitals at the beginning of your sentences. No stray capitals. You are correct. Only where you need them, right? Only if it's a name. Oh, in fact, use capital letters for names of people, places, days of the week, and months, right? And do we have some places in our work today? We do. We have a place in our work today that needs to have a capital. All right. So today you're going to use your paragraph. So I'm going to real quick go back to Gabe here. I'm going to start you out. I'm not going to give you sentence stems today because this is an assessment to see if you can do it on your own, right? So I'm not going to do it for you because that would be a little silly for Mrs. Harrison, right? To give you all the work. Then it will be Mrs. Harrison's work and not yours, right? But I'm going to help you with the first two words because sometimes when I look at a blank page like this, and this is here, you know, and somebody says, okay, I want you to write. Sometimes you just get a little overwhelmed. Like this is a big blank page. Now, I don't expect, Mrs. Avin and I do not expect all of these lines necessarily to be filled, but a paragraph does have about 3 to 5 sentences. And I'm going to say closer to 5 on this one than 3. Because we had a short constructed response and that had 3 sentences, but this is a paragraph. And most of you are reading chapter books right now, so you know that paragraphs are not just a couple sentences long most of the time. So we're looking to maybe even 5 to 7 sentences if you can manage. Now, some of you write bigger, so you might fill up this entire spot. Some of you write smaller, so you might write, it may not take up all this space. I'm not going to say you have to use all the space, but you need to do your best job because we're going to look at these. So write a paragraph to answer the question, what are some challenges people in Kenya face when learning and how are they overcome? All of your ideas can come from here, but can you add extra ideas from the text? Yes. If this is just our note catcher, it's not the entire text. You have the entire text for you as well. So you can use your text to help you as well. If you're not sure how to spell a word and you know it's in the text, use the text. So I'm going to suggest that we start our paragraph. So where is our challenge? Kenya, right? So we're going to say, my friend Mrs. Avin is so excited. She's bursting forth with information. In Kenya, comma, because that's where a comma goes. In Kenya. And then should we continue our sentence? Okay. I'm not going to, I don't want you to share that sentence with me, but right now, think in your head, but what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to do a quick breakout room, and here with partners. I want you just to tell your neighbor, so make sure everybody has somebody to talk to. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think about what are you going to write in this paragraph? What are you going to talk about? This is a chance to talk it out before you write, before you're all by yourself and have to do it independently. Get some information from your buddies, all right? So what is it do you think you're going to write about in here? You're just talking to a neighbor. I'm going to take my friends here, and then we're going to do a little break. You're going to have a partner for a breakout group. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment because you don't need me to share. I'm going to do some breakout groups, and I'm going to do groups of 2, maybe 3. Actually, I'm going to go 2 to 3 because I have a couple extra. I got to pull Mrs. Avin out of there. And all right, so your job to do, it's going to be a couple minutes, just a couple minutes. Talk to your partners about what are you going to write on page 41. What are you thinking about putting in your paragraph? Okay, give each other ideas. What are we going to write about? Should you have your note catcher in front of you? Can you have that note catcher to help you? Yes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. It's going to just be a couple of minutes. So my friends, when you get into the breakout room, remember to take off your mute button so you can talk. Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to create my rooms. To jump in. All right. As a co-host. I don't know. That's well because I don't make you the host, I make you the co-host. All right. I'm going to open all the rooms. Okay, you guys are gonna. I'm gonna join one, okay? So you are in one already. You're number 2. Then you can. All right. So turn to a friend. Turn to a friend. Talk about what are you gonna write about. Abby, why are you texting her?
My next question is that these kids get books from camels.
Miss Harrison. Miss Harrison. Miss Harrison. Miss Harrison. Miss Harrison.
So the people and
Miss Harrison.
why can't we just have a people gathering and write that?
What I should write?
All right, you guys got a plan? Okay, you know what the challenge is? What's the challenge? Okay, so
Miss Harrison.
and why don't you know?
Because they move around.
Miss Harrison. Miss Harrison.
All right.
They keep looking at us and they can't get.
All right, Mrs. Aubin, I'm going to close in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, my friends, give me a thumbs up if you guys were able to give each other some ideas about what you're going to write about. Oh, very nice. Okay, Miss Clara, do you have some ideas about what you're going to write about now? Awesome. Leo, you feeling good? Robert, you're not sure about what you're going to say? Do you have, no? Okay, do you have this? Do you have this in front of you? Okay. All right. Okay, so this is going to be able to help you with your ideas. All right. All right. So, my friends, this is your job on page 41 in your workbook. My friends here, we're going to pass out a paper one, so you're not actually going to write in your book, because we're going to turn this in so that Mrs. Aubin and I can actually grade it. If it's in your workbook, you guys are going to take a picture of page 41 when you're finished. Can you do me a favor? Can you make sure that you can read it, but when you take a picture of it, make sure that it's as clear as possible, because it's really hard when Mrs. Harrison prints them out to be able to see what you said. I know sometimes it takes more than one picture sometimes. In fact, when I put the Kenya text on your assignment, I had to take the picture like 3 times to get it clear, okay? So make sure it's nice and clear, all right? Do that for me. And then you're gonna turn in the assignment in. And if you finish early and you wanna do some Amplify reading, or if you wanna read some Epic, you can certainly do that, or you can just, do what you need to do for AMP or one of those other subjects, okay? So remind me real quick, how many sentences are we looking for in this paragraph?
5.
Probably 5 to 7, because we have lots of ideas. Now, should you just copy your note catcher?
No.
No. Do you need to put it in your own words?
Yes.
Yes, because we are using should we copy sentences directly from our text?
No.
No. Can we use ideas from our text?
Yes.
Can we use spelling from our text?
Yes.
Yes, but we don't copy the sentences directly, do we? Last thing, when you're finished, go back and check your cups. Go back and check your capitalization. Reread your sentences to make sure they make sense. Look at your punctuation and your spelling. On today's assignment, it shows those ideas right here. You can go back to those, and Mrs. Aubin, if she wants to post them, can have them up if you guys need them. That last page if you want. It's up to you. With the revising and editing ideas. All right, my friends. So, my friends who are online, I'm going to leave this open if you have any more questions, but if you're feeling confident and you're ready to go right, you can leave the Zoom. But if you want me to keep you on, I can also do that. I'm going to go ahead and click. I'm going to go ahead and, maybe not. I'm going to go ahead and